So please welcome Laurie Wondra.
I think I'm about as red as my sweater, so thank you for that introduction. I really am a vessel of the angels and the energetic beings, and I'm really here for you today. So today we're going to talk about the theme of this month is honoring your unique voice. And earlier this week I sat down and I channeled the angels and the entities, and they downloaded just a whole encyclopedia of information. So I'm going to try to do them justice in trying to peel back that. I have notes, but we all know sometimes they come in and they just want their own venue. So I'm going to allow them to do that. And before we dive into that, I'm just going to ground our energy and set the intent for this morning. So take a moment, if you've been rushing to get here this morning, rushing to get out the door, get kids on their way, or you have a busy day ahead of you, take a moment and breathe in. And center your energy. Feel yourself connect to your heart. And as you breathe, feel the heartbeat. Feel the rhythm of your heart. Connect with Mother Earth. And be present. Deep breath in. And relax. All right. And the angels say, now we begin. So we do have a microphone, so Linda will have a microphone. If you do have any questions throughout this entire time that I am honored to be here talking, please raise your hand and we'll get a microphone to you so we can answer your questions and they can answer. If you're feeling the heat rise in the room, we're being joined by the angels. Archangel Michael brings the fire in, so if you suddenly got warm, it's his energy coming into the room. Raphael, Shamuel, Gabriel, they're all coming in, as well as your loved ones and guides are coming in today. And as we talk about honoring our unique voice, I want to take us back into 2014 a little bit and bring some explanation to what 2014 is and was all about. Because we're also moving into this exciting time period of 2015, and that's what I want to talk about for the majority of time today is what can we expect in 2015 and why, all right? So 2014 was about pausing and clearing and learning our independence. So many of us went through situations where we struggled, where we really had to find that place of survival and learn that I can, I will, I have this energy. And any of you have gone through that energy, you know exactly what I'm talking about, is that it's that I survived this, I know what I need to do going forward, or I know I need to let this go. And part of that releasing was just that, releasing that you no longer needed to have so that you can prepare for what's coming in 2015, all right? So in that 2014, it's about learning self-sustaining tactics or self-sustaining practices that we have. And it's about being in that center place. And when the angels say self-sustaining, some of us had to learn how to be individuals. And the reasons that we had to have things stripped away or we had to go through some of those learning opportunities was to come down to that individuality. Because truly, before we can move out into the world, we have to be comfortable here. Before we can contribute outward, we have to come here. And we are in a culture, many of us have grown up with always giving, not receiving. We have to come here. Einstein talked about us like magnets. We're human magnets, positive, negative energy, right? Sometimes you get up and you're like, oh, I don't want to go to work today. I don't want to do this. It's going to be an icky day. That puts out those negative ions or those negative energy. And since we are all energy, that goes out into the universe. And it's like a magnet, and it collects other people that are laying in bed too and saying, oh, this is really going to be an icky day. And it draws that energy to you. And as that layers on top, you become a center or in that bundle of magnets. So think about being under the pile. If those that are into football or sports, think about being under the bottom of the pile where you can't move. That's what sometimes our energy feels like when we draw in that magnetic or we draw in that energy. We get to that place, we are so constricted, we cannot move. So we begin our day, each day, we hit the reset button, we sleep, we're rested, we wake up, it's a new day. And that new practice that the angels want us to develop and really practice in 2015 is drawing in the positive energy. The positive, it's going to be a fabulous day. I'm in gratitude. I'm in love with my life, and everything that happens today is for a divine purpose. And you begin to draw in that frequency of energy. You draw in that. And wouldn't that be a marvelous pile to be under? That high frequency love and light versus under a pile of negative energy? So many of us needed to have all those things stripped away from us so we could be individuals, so we could find out what is our positive and what is our negative. And that's also been a difficult lesson for us, is defining what is my positive? What do I want in this lifetime? What do I want to call in? And instead of giving, and I want to give this to this person and provide this for this person, what do I want? Because when we start with present and we say, this is what I'm calling into my life, we call others that are at that same frequency, and we move everyone's frequency to that high spot. Okay? I'm going to pause for a moment and see if there's any questions in the room. No? Okay. In that individuality, we begin to learn that I am source. I'm the source of my energy. I can control that. I can tap into the divine source, but it starts here. It starts here. So as we wake up in the morning and we say, I'm going to have this fabulous, excellent, awesome day, and I love the world, I love my life, I love my job, I love where I am, and I'm connected. That's the source we get, and that expands. So when I look around the room and I look at your energy fields, what I'm looking at is your light and your glow and your connection, because sometimes we feel disconnected. We feel that we're disconnected, but the angels are saying we are always connected. That energy is always right here. It's whether we're in the frequency to hear it. How many of you have been seeing 1111, 444, 333? Okay? Do you know what that is? Do you wonder? It's that energy around us, our angelic bodies, the energies, the entities beyond that are trying to get our attention. They're always there. They're always speaking to us. They need something of earthly dimension to get our attention. So when they repeat patterns to us, that's a way for them to get our attention. So seeing that 444, it's like, stop. What are you doing at that moment? And what's the message at that moment? And pause. How many of you are planners? Okay. Maybe more. We don't want to admit that we plan. We plan, and it's okay to plan. But if we live our lives always thinking ahead, we're never in the moment. And sometimes the angels want to give us that 444, that 1111 to bring us back to present and say, hey, wait, you're way too out here. Rein it in and be present today. Be here. Okay? All right. I'm going to pause and see if there's any questions. Okay. 2014 was also a year. Yes?
You know, to refer to as a book on numbers, 33355. I mean, do you also think that or have gotten a message that certain numbers mean certain messages, or all kind of messages you pay attention to?
Yep. So the question is, Doreen Virtue does have a book of numbers out, and it's 222, 333, 444, and they're tied to the angelic realms. And there are different frequencies, and thank you for that question, because I'm going to speak for a moment about just the different frequencies of energy that we're in. As humans, we're in a third dimension, and we are based on frequency. Everything is energy. Everything is frequency. And there are different levels or planes of frequencies in the universe. So the angelic realms, our loved ones that have crossed over, our animals that have crossed over here are all at different frequencies. And as a reader or as an intuitive or medium or whatever we want to title, it's just tapping into that energy. So in the angelic realms, there are different levels, and they bring messages or a message from an angel in that level or that realm. For me, it's a frequency, and it's to get your attention. So 444, it might be one of the archangels nudging you and saying, okay, I've been trying to speak to you for quite a while now, but you're not listening, so I'm going to blast you with something right now, okay? So pay attention to what you're doing at the moment when you see that 1111, 222, 333, 444. Those are all master numbers, okay? Thank you for the question. I'm just checking in with them if they have any more to say on that. It's really there, so Archangel Michael is coming in, and he's saying they really are trying to get our attention, and they're wanting to like jump into why it's important in 2015. But many of you have been feeling this urge, this inner urge, as you've left old practices, old beliefs, old systems behind, that you have this void, that you have this empty space, and you're looking for something to fill in this space. And the angels are leaving this space, or the universe is leaving this space open for you with purpose so that you can assimilate and you can become familiar with what it feels to be in this individual energy. And you as humans want to fill it with something. You want to be busy, you want to plan, and fill it with something that takes up space, and that's not the intent of this. The intent of this right now is to feel, to work through any emotions. 2014 was also about healing. It was about discovering those beliefs, discovering those recordings we have about ourselves, and it was cutting the thread, releasing those ties, and healing that information. It's setting us up for that future. It's setting us up for new beliefs. Our thoughts become words, become actions, become how we live. And the old way that we believed or the old way that we lived, for many of us, no longer works. And so we develop new beliefs, new thoughts, new patterns, but we had to create space for that. And healing can not only be just our physical body, it can be our emotional body, it can be our energetic body. So if we were feeling sluggish or tired, or we had some health problems in 2014, it was all to give us a new foundation to stand on. Many of you may have had health problems that stopped you in your tracks and forced you to be in one spot, forced you to give up things that you could no longer do, to adjust or readjust your patterns or your beliefs that you had. Did anyone experience that? You didn't have a choice. And as Linda and I were talking a little bit before this, and we said, this is energy, you gotta be in the flow. Otherwise the universe is just gonna come and kick you and push you forward with hard signs. And you'd rather be in the flow and swimming or flowing with the river than trying to swim up the river or being drug along. Okay. Notice in your life where you feel that there's pressure or there's tension, that you're out of the flow. Now we're almost at the end of the year, right? We only have a few weeks of December, and so we're saying, what do I have to do? What do I have to do to get ready for 2015? Don't panic, because you all have been getting ready for 2015. Believe it or not, your guides, your angels, the guardian angels are not going to leave you behind. You may have wanted to stay behind. It may have been really uncomfortable, but you are not going to be left behind. So in 2012, I've spoken before, 2012, the Earth went through a major energetic adjustment. We went through the center of the universe. We're going to go through another energetic adjustment here at the end of December, and that's what we're preparing for. So it may or may not be Earth events. I've heard of a number of earthquakes around the world this week, and tornadoes or storms and snowstorms and hurricanes and those types of things. But that's not the world adjustment that they're talking about. This is an increase in our frequency. And so when they say nobody's going to be left behind, we live on this planet. And so by our existence on this planet, we will come along with the frequency. And it can be gentle, and it can be with ease, or it can have some change involved. I see there's a question back there.
I was just wondering, what about the people who aren't really like spiritual conscious? What's going to happen with them?
So the question is, what about the people that aren't really spiritual or conscious. They'll come along too. They're just on a slower path. We cannot not shift. And many of you are here because you're healers, teachers, channelers, or you're being called to step into those roles because more of the light workers are being asked to come front and center to prepare for this shift. And it's not a scary shift, it's actually a marvelous shift. Because when we get into that space of high frequency, we let go of all the crud, all the judgments, all those lower energy beliefs that we have, and we move into this place of higher frequency, higher love. So they'll come, and many of them need us to help bring them along. Many of them need to just do it on their own. And that's one of the lessons that I teach about and I've had in my own life is sometimes we have to let that person go, or we have to let that job go, or we have to let that home go, because it's just not going to shift. Yes?
I have a question about this change, because I see three possibilities. Is it because we're kind of a planet that's dying, Greenland is melting?
I don't think that's on.
Stuff? Or is it because this is a cyclic change that angels always come to do, even 6,000 years before Christ, we've heard of things like that?
Yes.
Or is it a totally new thing that is unusual and we really are getting ready to be new?
Yeah.
So, three possibilities.
So it's possibilities are, I don't know if the mic was on, so I'm just going to repeat. So three possibilities are the earth is dying, it's a cycle that we're in, or it's something that's brand new. And what I'm hearing on that is yes, yes, and yes. And the big change is that this is all new. We weren't here 6,000 years ago, so it's new for us. Maybe in a previous life we were here, and those of us that were here maybe are remembering what it was like, and we're stepping forward to help others, or we're stepping back in a little bit of fear. But the majority, this is new. This is a new experience. We're moving into a higher frequency, a higher dimension that allows us access to things of higher light, higher joy, higher happiness, higher abundance. And abundance isn't always financial. It's abundance in everything in our lives. So this shift that they've been preparing us for is to let go. And for many of us, and as humans, they're just telling me, that is the hardest thing for us, is to let go. Because we want to control. I want to know, I'm a planner. I want to know what I'm going to be doing in January. And that might not be what is needed right now. You might have to be in that moment. Okay? And that's hard to do, is be in the moment. We're in a busy time of year. Shopping, hustle bustle, got to get stuff done at work before the holiday season, got to get stuff done at the end of the year for budgeting or for the new financial year. I mean, this is a busy time of year, but it's also a super energetic time of the year. And some of the dates or some of the planetary movements are going to help us move this last bit of energy. Okay? So December 12th to December 21st, which is the winter solstice, there's 9 days. And your homework is, in those 9 days, pick something you love. Every day be in a place of gratitude. I love my life. I love my spouse. I love my children. I love my dog. Be in that place of gratitude so you send that energy out, because you're that magnet and you want to bring that in. Okay? Then between December 21st and December 31st, that's 10 days. That's the day that you get to be in this cycle, because now you've created the what goes out comes in, and you're in this cycle of receiving. So that's the time period that you get to acclimate these energies. Notice 9 days, 10 days. What do you think is the next homework? 11 days, right? So between January 1st and December 12th, 11 days. That's your portal. And that's the shift of the energy coming in. And so if you take the practices you've created for the first 9 days, take the receiving for the second 10 days, and get in that cycle of living for the 11 days, you're in the cycle that'll carry you through for the next 12 months and beyond. Okay, I'm going to pause on that. Questions? So in 2014, I talked a little bit about healing, and many of us went through a lot of health issues or health adjustments. Sinuses. Anybody have a lot of sinus problems this year? Sinus, nose, headaches? Okay. And as we talk about your unique voice in 2015, there's also reason behind that. Because our sinus area or our throat area, so there were a lot of strep cases in schools and sore throats and colds and all this stuff that the kids were experiencing. Our throat chakra and our crown, our third eye, is connected through our upper throat chakra. You heard about your upper throat chakra? That's this area. And it needed to expand, and it needed to grow. We have more than 7 chakras. But it's the upper throat chakra, sinus area, needed to expand so that we could connect our throat and our third eye. And the reason that connection needs to happen is because we need to begin to speak about our truth. We need to begin to share our truth. So 2014 was all about hibernation, stripping away the stuff we didn't want, moving into that space of who we are, I am, and now we get to start sharing it out in the world. Isn't that exciting? Or scary? Don't be scared with that. That's a fear. That's a lower energy. Let that one go. Just let that one go. This is about speaking your truth. This is about you are finding your authentic self. You are finding what energy drives you, what brings you joy, what brings you peace. You're contributing it out to the universe. So you're connecting with others that are at that same place or similar place of joy and happiness, and you get to speak about it. And what better way to do that would be to connect that throat and that third eye, that knowing, that connection with your divine energy and knowing, and begin to speak. Who are the teachers in here? The speakers, the leaders? I know they're here. I know you're here. And you're getting called stronger to speak about these messages, about bringing others along and finding their own divine peace. Because for those that are late in the process, they need to have a way. They need to have a little bit of help. They need to sometimes put that analytical reason or that analytical thing to what am I feeling? Many of us don't like to feel. We don't like to acknowledge what we're feeling in our energy field. And so if we can tie the scientific world is beginning to join the metaphysical world, we start to bring others along with us. Okay? Questions? Yes?
Laurie, could you say a little bit more about the upper throat chakra? That was new to me. And the reason I ask is me and my spouse, we have had this upper respiratory thing that we could not get rid of, and then we've had it like 2 or 3 weeks, and then we think it's gone, and then it comes back in our throat. And I'm talking to more and more people that are saying, I just can't get rid of this stuff, and it's all centered around upper respiratory stuff.
It's all here, it's all here. It's energy. And so we approach it from medication, or we approach it from sometimes diet. You know, maybe something that I'm eating is inflaming my sinuses, but it's energy. So go to the place of energy. What's the energy component? Am I wanting to speak out, or am I feeling the urge? This is Raphael's message to you, dear one. Am I wanting to speak out to the world about something, but I'm afraid, or I'm holding back, or I'm not quite sure that I can say this? Find where that is and let that go, okay? And if it's in a household, find out if there's common elements between people in the home, or if it's in an office area, if there's common elements going on in that office area. The lung part, the congestive, is preparing our lungs for increased capacity, because we're going to be speaking so much about who I am and the authenticity about me. I had to have lung capacity, right? So that's the expansion. So breathing exercises, yoga, or simple breathing exercises to expand that. We're very shallow breathers for the most part. We have to remind ourselves to breathe full capacity. And so sometimes the angels are coming in and they're saying, okay, I'm gonna give you some congestion there so that you can feel that constraint, so that you can learn to expand that lung capacity, so that you can speak. Okay? Did you have a question? Okay. All right. Did I get that? All right. Other questions? Yes?
Is there anything? No, sorry. Is there anything the angels could say about the symptom of dizziness? I get vertigo
Yes.
quite often.
Yes. So vertigo, dizziness was very symptomatic in 2014. And it's as our frequency changes, our connection with the outer frequencies also changes. So our chakras spin, and as the light comes in and it spins faster or broader, it makes us dizzy. And so in those episodes, focus on where the dizziness is. It might be hard to pinpoint because your whole body is feeling woozy, but see if there's one particular chakra that you need to focus on expanding and breathing energy into that place. And if you don't know, just work all of them. And if you don't know your chakra system, breathe energy into your entire body. Just breathe it all in and move it down, okay? When I asked them what symptom or what we might be experiencing in 2015 with this, some will still experience the sinus and the lung and the congestion, those that are a little bit later in the pathway. Some are the early emergers, or they're the pioneers that are already starting to feel this energy. And they might be feeling the vibration of earth. Anyone starting to feel this gentle rock in their body? I was sitting at a stoplight the other night and I swore my car was going like this. And I thought, is it windy out? No, it's the planet. We're in this gentle vibration. So notice that, and that might make you a little nauseous. So nauseousness, which is not going to be fun. Drink lots of liquids is what they're telling me, lots of liquids, and replenish with salt. I don't know why the salt, but so know that as the earth goes through this frequency, the earth feels it first. So we might be getting more earthquakes, more storms, those types of things. Plants and animals feel it second. So we might see some adjustments into our tree structures or plant structures or those types of plants. Animals are feeling it. Anybody have animals that are just running around like crazy all of a sudden? They're getting these pulses of energy. They're literally getting this pulse of energy, okay? So be aware of that because there are early indicators of what's coming, okay? Restless sleep. Anyone have restless sleep? Oh boy, we're in for more of that. But you know, as this energy, as this frequency moves higher up, we actually should need less sleep. More energy, because it's a higher frequency it's not holding us back. So it's a higher frequency energy that's going to move us forward. So hopefully we'll need less sleep or we won't feel exhausted because we're waking up and saying, I'm grateful for this. I'm in this higher frequency, okay? So restlessness, sleeplessness, shots of energy that come down our body. Anybody have weird twinges going on in their body? All of a sudden you're like, what's that? Or your leg, it feels like your leg is twinging. It's the energy coming in, and that might be a blockage of energy that this energy up here is needing to move through. So healers out here, be aware of this. You might have more clients that are needing to help move that energy through the body, through the portals, okay? Hot hands, burning hands, anybody? Yeah, where you just feel like you have to do something with this energy because it's just coming fast and hard. That's a higher frequency energy. You can use that for those that are in the creative arts or creative theater, painting, art. Anything creative is using your hands, putting that energy into using your hands, writing, music, anything. That's a good way to move that and acknowledge that. So if you are feeling this surge of energy and you have a temptation to stop, like if let's say you're a writer and you're saying, oh, I'm going to stop because I can't focus because this hurts so much, the best thing you can do is sit down and write and let that energy flow, okay? Other questions?
You refer to like maybe the salt, because like I get things with salt and chocolate, and why does that have to do with the frequency? I mean, you mentioned
It does.
salt, but
It does. So I'm not, that's the first time I heard this morning that we needed salt. The salt is because we don't have enough. We're so much water. We're 70 to 85% water, and we need to have salt to maintain that water. So if we're drinking a lot of water and flushing that water through, flushing that energy, we do need salt. Chocolate is actually a lower frequency. Sugar is actually a lower frequency. Dark chocolate is, yeah. Dark chocolate? I'm like, please, angels, don't take away my chocolate or wine, right? Let me have that. So, dark chocolate, because it has less sugar. It's more natural in that, yeah. But you'll find our senses are becoming more acute. So our taste buds and what we feel, and just a small bit of chocolate might give you a headache as you're moving into this. Or a small bit of wine might make you tipsy as you're moving into this higher frequency. Okay. Our taste buds are changing. Foods you maybe liked a year ago, you no longer like. More organic, healthy, whole, raw foods are coming in. And we're the adults here, but there's a whole bunch of generation kids that are coming in that are going to need all these high-frequency adults around them, right? Have you heard about the crystal children, the rainbow children coming in? This is all preparation for their little bodies coming in and what they need. And some of them are early pioneers, and so you might have children now that are fussy eaters, or you just can't figure out what to feed them or how to calm them down. They're in a different frequency. And we're moving up into the frequency they're already in, all right? Does that make sense? And you're their parents because you can do that, all right? You've been gifted that gift of that child, that energy. Other questions? So let's talk more about 2015. So 2015, they say, is about accessing our own portals of energy. So being in those quiet states of time where we can tap in and we can focus. We can focus on what that energy is and how I bring it in and how I expand and then how I use it. So much like a bucket of water, if you keep emptying that bucket of water out, it's going to become empty after a while, right? And as you get this urge to speak or to use your gifts or to go out into the world and teach and heal, you have to fill up. So it's important for you to expand. Remember, you are always connected to Divine Source. And your energy and the angels and your guides are always around you. You just need to be in that moment and connect and open your pipeline. Because it maybe went down to a little thread or a little string. So you need to open that. And 2015 is going to be a fast year. And I hate to even say that because then it like projects that out there. But 2014 went crazy fast, didn't it? And 2015, time is accelerating for us because energy and the frequencies, the higher frequencies, are faster. But also remember this, time is irrelevant. I wear a watch, but I really don't try to look at it very often. I know that I have all the time I need to get all my stuff done when I need to get it done. So even though time feels like it's going faster, hold that nugget. Time and a clock is irrelevant. Believe you have the time you need to get everything done. Did anyone just feel their heart go, oh my gosh, panic, how am I going to do that? It can be done. Just breathe into presence. Breathe into your present energy. And ask the angels to come in and help you if you feel like you're stuck or if you feel like you're in that panicked moment, okay? 2015 is also about using what you've allowed to come in. And you're like, how do I know? How do I know how to use it? How do I know what I'm allowing in? Comes back to their first point. Pause, be connected. Hear your inner voice. Hear what that inner joy, that inner voice wants, desires, and be in that place. 2015 is acknowledging our ability to connect and remain connected, because you can be connected, and again, you're never disconnected. It's acknowledging ourselves as loving, energetic beings that we are, and acknowledging our thoughts, beliefs, and how we live. So it goes back to our thoughts become our words, become our actions, become how we live. It's our belief system. So when you go into 2015, what are your new beliefs about yourself? What are your new beliefs for 2015? And set those in motion. Questions? Yes?
Stay centered and keep believing. You know, when we set up something, sometimes we, in the middle of that, we just say, oh, maybe it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But like you said, stay more in touch with that positive thing that we started.
Yeah. So, and your comment or your statement was, it's very important to stay in that belief and not just give up and set it aside. We do. We get frustrated. We want everything right now, right? I set my intent 5 minutes ago. Where is it? And we have to be in that trust. But we also have to understand sometimes we set an intent or we set a message out to the universe. We're not ready for it. It's not part of our divine journey. It's like, I want to win the lottery. But if winning the lottery takes you off your path, you're not going to win the lottery. So there's universal things that impact that. So when you come to your center, when you come to that center core energy and you really say, who am I? What makes me happy? Where is my passion? That's your journey path. Then you can set the intents around that and move forward. And stay fast on that. And put those thoughts into words, into actions. Because if we just think about it, and we don't speak about it, we don't take action, it's just going to stay here. It's just going to swim around here in our thoughts. So we also have a part or responsibility to the universe to act on what our thoughts or what our beliefs are. And we're better at acting on those negative things or those not so nice things in our life. We seem to do better on those than we do on the positive. So focus on that in 2015, because the energy is there to support you. The earth is at this higher frequency. It's saying, I'm here. You just get to use it. You get to be in this energy. It's us. It's our decision on how we use it. Okay? 2015, it's about continuing to learn, knowing that we're humans. Sometimes I have clients say, when am I done? When am I done? We're not. That's the gift that we have here on earth, is that we're life learners, and we're multiple life learners. So we bring into this lifetime, and we bring into the next lifetime, and we learn. And if we look at all those learnings as opportunities to, what's this? There's something that's showing up for me. Maybe I need to learn from this. A few weeks back, I'm a Diet Pepsi drinker, and I know it's bad for me. I don't drink coffee. But I stuck a bottle in my purse, and the cap was not tight, and it dumped out in my purse. And I'm thinking, okay, this was a moment maybe Laurie wasn't thinking, but maybe it's a bigger message that, I've been thinking about not drinking Diet Pepsi and just not focusing. Well, the universe will come in. That's a small sample, but again, the universe is going to come in and give you those indicators, but it's my job to pay attention to them. And it's my job to say, what am I going to do with this opportunity? And no, it wasn't an opportunity to get a new purse. It was an opportunity to say that, maybe I need to change my patterns. All right. I'm going to take a moment here. We have a couple minutes before we do our offering, and I'd like you just to close your eyes. And as we go into 2015, And we really focus on honoring your unique voice, because you truly are unique, wonderful, light, energetic, loving beings. As I read these statements, the I ams, take a moment and breathe these in. Be in the moment, be present. I am beautiful. I am an energetic being in transformation. I am a loving energy that loves unconditionally. I am open to all that the universe provides. I am an intelligent and learning being. I am a caring spirit. I am true to my internal spirit. I am a teacher. I am a healer. I am a student. I am balanced in my energy field. I am at peace with the world. I am without fear. I am courageous. I am moving forward on my journey. I am aware when I need rest and when I need action. I am human with a spirited soul. I am a lifelong learner. I am conscious of all elements of the earth and all energetic realms. I am the voice of my truth. I am loved, and I am the giver of love and light. I am also the recipient of love and light. Deep breath in, center your energy. You just felt the love that rose up in this room. Amazing. We do our offerings then. As I look around the room and I look at all your light, it's all brilliant rainbow colors. And as we take a moment and we acknowledge the I am energy that we spoke of this morning and the heart energy and how we walk out into the world in 2015, we're still in 2014. So for today, I ask that the angels and guides join us, be with us. Help us be in this place of transformation. Help us remember their little homework assignment they gave us this morning so that we can better prepare for 2015 and that we acknowledge the spirits that we are, the love that we are, and the love that we are capable of giving others. Take a moment and take a deep breath and open your heart. And one more deep breath and open it broader. Stretch out beyond the diameter of your physical body. Move this energy up into the universe so the angelic beings and the universe hears, sees, and acts. And with that, I want to thank you, and I want to thank Late Harriet for making this possible for us to be in this beautiful space this morning. And as the Christmas holidays roll in, I want to leave you with this. I read a book a while ago that talked about a secretary that bought her boss these presents for Christmas. And one year he felt really bad because he didn't buy her anything. And she walked in with a stack of 4 or 5 presents, and he sheepishly unwrapped each one. The first one was a calculator, and he laughed. He couldn't find his calculator somewhere along the year. So he's grateful that he got this new calculator. The second one was a new pen. And as he tells the story, he actually begins to forget about what the other gifts are, but he gets to the last box, and he opens it, and it's empty. And he looks at her and he thinks in his mind, well, perhaps she forgot to put something in this box. You know, she does get absent-mindedness sometimes. And as he turned the box over and he showed it to her, she said, oh, you're such a busy man. I just wanted to give you a pause. So as you go forward into this holiday season, please think of this little empty box. And maybe there's somebody in your life that you want to give a pause to. And as he continues his story, it's that box and that gift that he remembers through the rest of his career. It's not the other gifts. With light and love, go out into the world, and many blessings to all of you. Whew. Thank you.